everybody, my name is Tanya and I am a cash stuffer and budgeter here on YouTube. And this week we're going to be budgeting the third paycheck in February. So let's get right down to the budget and let's see what we're working with for money this week. Okay, so coming down here, we're going to first start off with our calendar and look here, and you can see that the paycheck that we are going to be working with is going to be from the 17th, which is today. And right now the bills that we do have to pay would be our normal subscription / bills, which if you know me from previous videos, I take all the bills and subscriptions and anything that's a monthly payment and even annual payments. I do the math out and I come up with what that amount would be in a 4-week month. So I divide that all out and my bills would be $240 a week, and so I take that and I send that directly to my credit card because all of those payments are paid through a credit card because we do have our points, so we didn't want to totally give up all of our points by going to all cash methods. So we do a mix of cash and credit. So we have that. So what I like to do is I just grab the highlighter and I just highlight that this is the paycheck, this is what we're paying. Also, if you come down here on the 21st, life insurance is going to come out. That is something that stays in my checking account. And I know we get paid on the 24th, but we do have electric, gas, and renter's insurance later that week as well. So I'm going to actually pay my car insurance with this paycheck to make things a little bit easier. So now we're going to click over to the week 3 and work on that. So I'm going to just come down here, and for the hospital that I work for, I got $17.66 that I'm going to be using to budget. And then I actually did a Super Bowl square and I won. So I'm really pumped about that, and that was for $300. So let's add that up, and we have $17.66 plus $300, and that is $20.66. So we're going with $2,066. All right, so now moving on. Our bills. So this is where I put all my bills and what's due. So we always for subscriptions have $245. I think things are going to change next month because I will be getting rid of some of them. And so then also we have life insurance, which is $30, and that stays in my checking account. And then we have car insurance, which is $217, and that's for both of our cars. Like I've said in other videos, we use my income primarily to pay for the bills and pay for certain expenses, and the money that my husband has, we use that for rent as well as additional debt payments, as well as some savings as well. But you'll never really see his income. Sometimes I have some leftover stuff from what he gives me and I will add it to our expenses, but for the most part his are used for totally different things. So we have $245 plus $30 plus $217, and that is going to be $492. So now moving on, I go in pretty much order directly. So right now I go into food, and food always each week gets $250. That has not changed and probably won't change. And gas still continues to get $20, and coffee gets $10. So for gas, I don't drive very far for work, so I don't honestly use a lot of gas, and I actually maybe fill my tank up once every 2 weeks. So I put $20. All this money goes onto my credit card because, again, we like points. I only grocery shop once a week, and I only, if I'm lucky, get gas every week and a half to 2 weeks. So that $20 turns into almost $40 by the time it's up to fill my tank. And so I know that's probably more, and so a lot of it just goes more into the debt payment and rolls over to pay off more of the credit card. That's just how it works for us. In terms of food, it just seemed kind of crazy to like take out the cash only to like give the cash back to the bank after using my card, because we get extra points for food purchases. So it just makes sense just to give the credit card $250. That's what I have allotted. And when I go out and do my grocery shopping, if I spend less, great, puts more on the card. And if I spend that amount, that's there too. So I don't go over ever. And I know it's there. I kind of think of it like, hey, I just put money on a gift card. And that's how I think of it. I know it's really hard for some people, so like it just happens to work for me. And if I felt like it was getting crazy and I was overspending again, then I might reevaluate. But that's why it's like a week by week thing. And so that's just what we do. So the total for this is $280. So we have $280 that goes straight to the card. And now moving on to our sinking funds. So Molly this week is going to get $100. And vacation is going to get $150. So Molly, we just took out a large sum of money, $700. That covers her daycare for 20 visits. So that usually for her has been lasting about 2 to 3 months, depending on how often we go. So that's a lot, I know, but I work night shift. My husband works at home, but also in an office. So it's a lot, and she's a very active dog. So we try to let her go to daycare about 2 to 3 times a week. We've been trying to push it to less, so it's just 2. Then we get the more bang for our buck. But the last time we bought a package for her, it actually lasted quite a bit. So we're just working on that. So that's already paid for. So we're going to just give her $100 because we are going away soon, just for a small weekend trip. So she does have to get boarded for that. And so we just have to cover that. And then food. But we just got a new bag, so we're pretty good. Vacation $150, which we're trying to keep up with just because we are going to Ireland in April. And even though a good chunk of it's already paid for, I do want some spending money and whatnot. Self-care is $20. I still have not getting my nails done. I am using the OPI repair polish, and it seems to be working. It looks a little bizarre, but it is. My nails do feel stronger, so I like that. I'm just giving them a break. Health is going to actually get $80 this week, and that's just because I need to start saving up for contact lenses. Jay is getting $5, and gifts is getting $10 because we have quite a bit of money in gifts right now. I don't have any intent of buying anything for Jay. Car maintenance is getting $25. I do want to kind of put quite a bit in there for 2 reasons. My car is old. It's not great. It's working good, but anything can happen at any moment. 2, by June, I will have to pay for my registration and those things. And then on top of that, I am probably going to use this as a new car kind of fund, because I do want a new car. It's not a great time to buy right now since my car is still working and I don't need a new car. I'm going to just keep driving it, and that's that. Miscellaneous is actually going to get $100. We are saving for some stuff. I'm super excited. I will show you guys at the end of the video, but I did just open an Etsy shop. Right now there's only 2 things on there, and it's my new savings challenges, which I personally won't start one until I finish the 3,000 that I'm currently doing. But I made a $2,000 and a $3,000 one that I'm super excited for. And then I will also be releasing my March budget planner that's similar to this soon too. And then I have a Cricut on the way, so I'm super excited to start making envelopes and starting to add those to the shop as well. So miscellaneous for right now is actually going to be used a little bit for business purposes until I get my Cricut and make my own envelopes. I will make a business envelope with my Cricut and a few of my own to start just before I start. But I have my laminator and I have all the stuff. This is a new desk. So I just made some big purchases. I decided to dive into it because I really wanted to. So miscellaneous is going to get $100. Home is going to get $20. And then Christmas is going to get $10. And then just like always, Disney and baby get 5. So we'll add that all up, and we have 100. So we have 530. So it's usually about this time. What I'll do is I will go back and just take the amount that I have started with and then just subtract what I've done so far. I did kind of go through this in my head a little bit more before going on camera, but in another video I might just do it where I'm literally just haven't looked at it yet. That just might be a longer video. So right now we have $764 left. So now we're moving on to savings, and we're going to do the normal 25 in emergency. And then I'm going to skip the savings. That's a $3,000 savings challenge that I do. It's just like, again, it's the first one I ever started. I found a random one online, printed it out, and I've been doing that. Let's skip that for a hot second, and we're going to go to 1K, just going to get 5 this week. And our platinum challenge, we scratched off 75 at the last catch stuffing. So then I'll subtract 25, I'll subtract 5, I'll subtract 75. And that leaves me with 659. So I did off camera count my savings challenge, and the only reason why is because I really wanted to see how close we were to 2,000. I was really hoping to add a 1K slip for the Sinking Funds update. I didn't want any surprises, so I just wanted to see where we were so that I could figure out what I could cross off on the savings challenge to make that happen. So I realized that I'm going to cross off some big ones. I'm going to do a couple of them, and I forget how much I truly needed, but I did write it down. So this week we're going to stuff one that is 106 plus, and then the 44. And then that is going to be 150. So we're going to subtract 150. So that's going to be a huge chunk of what we're doing. And that leaves us with 509. So at this point, and then this is 250. And so at this point, I could look over this and add some more in other categories. Come to think of it, looking at this and seeing that we have 509, I might, and having had taken a bunch out of Molly's, I think I'm going to come up here and actually increase Molly's to 200. And it's only because we did just purchase a daycare package. I like her to have quite a bit of money. And the reason for that is just because we do go on trips, and we are going on 2 big trips that she needs to be boarded for. And I do want to start saving up for that. So we'll subtract 100. So I think with that 409, what we will do is, I know now I'm looking at it wondering if I should add more to other things, only because next week we do have quite a bit of bills, so the sinking funds aren't going to get a whole lot. But I do want to make bigger debt payments, so you know what? I think we're just going to put the rest into our credit card. So right now I am working on one of my Chase cards. I am actually, instead of doing more of a snowball, which I know people who do budget and do cash stuff tend to do a debt snowball, which just means you pay off the smaller debts first and then you keep going up and up and up to the next ones after you pay it off, but also doing the minimum balances to the other ones. However, I'm doing more of an avalanche method, so that involves actually paying the higher interest one first. And the reason for that is 3 of my debts have like 0 to 1.6% interest. My student loans are 1.6%. My Target credit card is 0%, and then my other Chase is 0% currently. So the one big chase that has the most, which technically I would have paid off last, has a highest of 16. So for me, it just made sense to really put as much towards that as possible when I'm not really getting penalized by the other ones. And trust me, we've made strides. Like last month, if you saw, definitely check out my debt update video, but definitely we made huge progress. So that's our budget. And then what I will do is look, add to see envelopes that are amount that's going to the envelopes. So that would include the sinking funds and the savings, an emergency. So that would be $630 plus $255, and that is eight. Ooh, that looks horrible. And then, oh, that is not the right amount. Okay. Whoop. Excuse the technical difficulties. $885. And then what goes to Chase is the subscriptions, our spending for the week, as well as the debt payment that's right there. And that is a total of $934. And then what stays in the bank is $217 plus 30, and that is $247. So when we add that all up, we get $20.66. So that's it, and that's the budget for this week. And then we will stuff that. I don't know if I'll be able to do it tomorrow, but definitely on Saturday we'll stuff that and post that. So just wanted to actually show you real quick the 2 savings challenges I made. So just I'll be right back when I pull those up. Okay, so hi, thanks for sticking around. These are my 2 savings challenges that I made and posted on my Etsy shop. So this is a $2,000 savings challenge. So this is actually a PDF that you can download, and you can add it to GoodNotes. That's what I use, is GoodNotes. I think there are other apps, but I'm just not familiar with them. You can also print it out if you want. It is going to be kind of large, so you just have to size it to what makes sense for you. I think in the future, when I do start making envelopes, I will probably create a smaller size of this and put it within the envelope and sell it as a set, but not until the envelopes are currently being done will that happen. So for right now, it's just going to be like a PDF GoodNote. So how you can do it is $2,000, and you have the little rainbows here, and you can color them in or highlight them with every week that you do. So if you do this one, or you can color them however you want. You can make it look like a rainbow. I have a little quote here at the bottom from Dolly Parton that says, "The way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain." So it's tough to save money. It's tough to do this. If it was easy, we'd all be doing it, and I would have done it a lot longer. But I would have done it a lot sooner, but I haven't. So better late than never. Ooh. So there's that, and they start off small increments, and then there's just one $100 one. So, and they go down kind of. Then the next one is a $3,000 one, and this is just some moons and stars. And the bottom, you have the famous quote, "Shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars." So, again, trying to be really inspirational. These are tough. Trust me, it's been tough for me. I'm fairly new at this because I've only been doing it for less than 6 months. But again, every time you save an amount, you can just fill in the star. Obviously, it might be prettier than that because I'm just doing it pretty quickly. So you can buy one or the other on my Etsy, or you can buy them both as a bundle for now. And then just so you can, I can show you real quick. This will be the new budget planner, which I'm excited for. I learned how to make rings. So I got really excited because I saw a few journals and planners, digital planners, because I was trying to move to like one of those, and I was like, wow, I didn't realize you could do that. I saw the tabs on the side or the top, so maybe next time I'll put them on the side too. But I learned how to make rings, so I was excited, and I've been playing around with Keynote, so I came up with this, obviously St. Patty's Day themed. not super original, but I probably will come up with another color as well, to make it more just like another neutral one. And then I probably will come out soon with one that doesn't have a month necessarily, that you add the month, in a blank calendar. So this one has the actual calendar for March, but then I might change it so that it's blank, so that you can just write in the numbers, and it can be for any month and make multiple copies. So that is something in the works, but for right now, I'll just show you real quick. You have the planner here, you have the calendar, which I will then add all my stuff, and then eventually will add all my monthly and annual bills. So I did have like the weekly minimums there. I don't really do that. I know some people do. It was something I came across of. I mostly like to monitor my bills and my annual bills, and look at it every month and reassess, like, what do we need, what don't we need, can we get rid of something, can we change something. I mean, for example, even though it's so simple, we were paying for 2 Spotify accounts, but we just needed one, or we were paying, one time we found out we were paying for 2 Showtime accounts. So I was like, you need to delete yours. Why do we have 2? So we, once we look at that every month, we can come across what we need and if there's anything we need to reassess. Are we not watching Paramount Plus anymore? Did we stop watching Apple TV for the moment? Should we cancel that? Things like that. And then you have your weekly budgets, which you can click using these tabs here. Each week has a denomination breakdown. So after I budget, like I did, I'll go through with the categories and write down what I want in denominations. And then I write that on a teller slip and send that to the bank. And then keep going. And in the back here, because March is 5 weeks for me, so I'm really excited. You have your sinking funds updates, your spending tracker, your debt updates, weekly minimums. I did leave. That's going to be only accessible through these links here. If that's something you use, which is basically just writing the category, looking at what you have in your envelope, but do you need it to be at a certain amount by the end of the month for something? Or are you aiming to reach a specific minimum because there's something that you need soon? This is a savings goal, a little different, whereas like for big things, like I want an iMac, and I wanted a Cricut, but I did actually save enough for that in the miscellaneous, so I did do that. So things like that aren't really like goals I have to reach. They're just things I want, not necessarily like bills I need to pay or things I need. And then notes. So if you need to write anything, you can do that. So this hopefully will be up soon. I'm just going to tweak it a little bit, make sure it's perfect, kind of make some with different colors, maybe just make the sheets themselves without the rings, give people a lot of options so that they don't have to stick with just this one planner. But that's it. So I just want to thank everybody for watching and sticking with me through this video. And I'll see you when we stuff this paycheck later in the week. Okay, bye.